entirety of 2025. The very first
Okay, we got PRX on attack,
by T1.
T1 on
This
defense.
being an elimination match between two teams, between lots of players who
Dude,
have so much history
the boom
between
bot's
them.
got to do a
It
lot
all
of work in
starts
this
off
comp,
right
I
here.
swear.
PRX on the attack, on
The
towards
boom
north
bot's
side.
got to do a
Oh.
lot of work.
Up at north side as
It
well.
might
It's
get a
Buzz,
little...
it's
Wait, how is
Izu
there so much damage done?
towards Dish, and they want to go for the fight. Look at this one. Everyone's trying to do it.
The salvos, though, they have punished
Holy,
on
that
towards at
flash
least
is
one
good.
player
It's a
until
big stun,
Forsaken
dude.
trades right
Look
back
at
with
the
low
damage done at
HP,
the moment.
And Izu happily collects.
And Jing's on 3. Meanwhile, Forsaken, full HP, but they got to go back and get the spike, and now they're smoked off. How do you even get through this one?
Maybe you start off by going back into spawn. Ooh.
I mean, maybe you click the... Can we start again? Start over. Reset.
Reset. Yeah, I had a tech issue. No.
Damage done. Sorry, mate.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And right now it's looking
Well
like
done,
T1
scan comp.
are going to be able to
I
come
mean,
away with the round.
An op...
Unless they have some
If
big
Buzz
mistakes
gets an
here.
op
Silver
out, I'm
Flow,
actually pretty
Izu's
worried
low,
for PRX, I'm not
but it is
gonna
the
lie.
double duelists, and there's
Because they kind of just got a
pieces of
blind
utility
stun.
that they're going to be able to run in with.
And
Unless Zing
I
finds
guess it can
super
get run
miraculous
down by
kills or-
Forsaken, but...
Maybe a bit of
You can also just run
mobility
out of
for
there.
Forsaken, but right now that's a quick
Like,
tell.
if I'm T1, I want to get that op out early.
First frag. He's done things like these before, but oh, the shot's eluding him for now. He tries to slide into safety, picks up the sheriff, but still, you gotta watch out for the shots through
Okay,
the
I mean, this
smoke.
was nicely handled from
Unfortunately,
T1, though.
that
He's
pushes
did
him
insane.
outside where it's a quick and clean kill from Meteor.
Yeah, if Easy didn't go and try to
It's a rough start because as soon as an op comes here, it's going to get really weird. And I can imagine that Buzz probably wants to get it out early. If you're seeing this comp, I imagine that everyone's speaking about getting the op out early.
Some really sensational damage early on delivered by the salvos and all the utility towards Dish, and then yeah, it's just kind of, you know, Easy getting their kill and then playing together as a unit for the last kill on a Forsaken. So pistol round, it doesn't work out for the PRX lads. They're going to take a knee here as well, not go for really anything of a force up, just a single bit of light shields in here for Forsaken.
And to make some noise off towards north and south side, closer towards B.
Okay, at the moment, T1 being kind of proactive. They lose Arcade, insta-push drone over towards...
He does get taken out by Devi. It'll be a second one on a Meteor
Hold
if
up.
they're able to try and
They're isolated on site. Wait, hold up.
do so successfully. He can start to look for a bit of a plant
Oh,
here,
dude,
though.
that was maybe
bit of
too
goods
much, but
in this
imagine he
3
won
versus
it. That would have been the round. Still a 3v3. They don't
on
have any guns to pick up
two
because he
rounds
kind of
right
just
now, but
committed with
still
this one.
Very much so aware, and you also have the utility coming back in as well. Outlaw off towards north side, and well, you've gotten what you came for. So the spike planet is all it really is. Well, down to the off angles as well. It's tough shots, something trying to trace it across the head, but still it's Buzz.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the thing that we're going to look to for something,
Uh-oh.
right? Like we were talking
They
about
got the
Genie
ult.
in the early
They got the
installments of
ult
this
for the
map,
first buy
PRX
round.
stage. It's playing on towards the Brimstone, you drop your smokes and utility, and then you're just shooting, right? You're trying to shoot the opponent. So having somebody who's quite sharp on that role is not necessarily a bad thing when you have to contend with Fracture in the map pool. For the people that don't like it, it's gone soon and Sunset's coming back in, for what it's worth.
Well, it's one of those things again. A lot of public outcry, but that said, down to the
Okay, Outlaw's still here. Everyone can tank a shot. Fast big buy rounds. Let's focus on PRX a little bit, see what they got. And
but so far not being able to come up with too much.
a little 4-1.
Ooh, pushing out of tree.
Timing here right now, tagged
Oh
on up,
boy,
finished up.
that's
Only
rough.
Devi was at
I'm telling you
south
that
side.
as soon as this op gets out here, like there's a world where Buzz ends this first half on like 18 to 20 kills, just purely because there is nothing to push him off an angle, apart from like stun. There's like no info to know where he is basically. Nice double send with the duelist. Nade strong.
To find too much reprieve for the rest of T1, so just down to the final 2, but can't really count them out.
Incendiary for Sylvan, flash for Meteor. But it is a 2 versus 3.
Okay. And also the door being propped open. Okay. Decent trades. Down to just Sylvan, who
just a classic crossfire.
So PRX kind of has
man maybe tucks in a bit more. Tuck in a bit more.
Does get found out.
Tuck
And
in
it's
a
down
bit
to the
more,
final kill, and
dude. You
Jing
gotta
fits
tuck
it.
in.
What?
It feels like
You
Jing
gotta
found the hard
tuck in,
frags in the
man.
round, but
Surely.
couldn't get the easy one at the end.
Okay,
The submachine
well.
gun of Sylvan getting the job done, which means the bonus round goes the way of T1. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, PRX, you lose the first kill. You know, kind of walk up to the start line at that point, and then you explode right on out. But it feels like you've just had that
he's gonna get the
Red Bull
op out
can
as well.
cracked in your
Yeah,
face
it's gonna
for
be
the
a
clutch that
bumpy
comes
ride,
through
man.
from
It'll
the
be a
likes
real
of
bumpy
Sylvan.
ride.
I mean, W Gaming, they
They're
got
about
into
to get
the
an
site,
op
they
out.
were running around with their heads and finding all the T1s, but yeah, just couldn't get the job done at the end. Red Bull clutch for T1. That hurts.
So much so, definitely.
They didn't have to use the
air
ult.
off a play like that.
Outlaws got one more go at it. Everyone buys a lot of heavy armor, and that's
T1
one of the
so
ones that weren't, and that's the smoke
This
stun.
is PRX's map pick, and now they're getting pushed back by salvos. A flashback against Buzz, though, but he's still able to hold down the line.
Yeah, you still got to remember that a team like T1, they can still know how to play this map, right? They can still fashion a good victory, but as they play that, these
That's a
pistols,
rough
I mean,
tail ult, by the way.
let's just have a scrap
It's
battle.
a really bad tail ult
Full
from
scrap,
Izu.
PRX comes out on top of the brawl.
2 versus 3 again, though, Quack. So you got to get the plant down. You got to contend with the fact that T1 are here relatively early.
That said, Jing does have an ult to work with, and he's playing around,
If
dropping
they
a
get
good
info on
launch
this,
pad.
does
If
Divide get
anything,
around the
T1
corner? He's
right
got a
now,
lot
both
of
them
delay, but
as a duo, marching forward inside of A main. A lot of noise being made known. Off towards Sands as well. Oh, wow, Meteor!
whoa.
Once again, looking
Whoa,
for the
what
needle,
was
and
that
he
from
finds it
sight
right
here?
through.
That's disgusting.
I don't know if he saw anything, but I don't think so. I think he just went for it.
For those that don't know, Quack is a PRX fan.
Well, that aside, you know, if we throw the PRX biases aside, this was 3v2. I mean, it was a
look, it's a scenario where everybody has won the duels over at the dish for the PRX squad, and in the 3 versus 1, you've got Meteor that's just getting Patman, finding an individual that'll lean out from Divide, and then individually winning the spray game where Jing's spray. It looked atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. 2 rounds so far, we've seen the spray not really look too good for Jing whatsoever.
Timeout, and they're up against the op.
He tosses
And
that to the side.
it's the worst possible
this is where PRX
situation.
start to wake
You
up.
got a comp. Oh, okay. You got a comp that isn't good against an op, and you got a team that has a lot of money.
It's got to be a
And an
tech
op-out.
timeout, guys. But no, 4 rounds. 4 rounds, and this is the wake-up call that we saw in the previous one from Talon, right? So maybe this is the wake-up call for PRX.
It's not one where the coach gets to do any talking, though.
Yeah, this is true.
So it still is a really different scenario, but that's it. I mean, a lot of great awareness coming out from
Alex's desk is in one piece. Did the 1v2.
Bears a lot of weight.
1v2 was really brutal.
Majority of us are PRX stands, fair enough. You know, we're gonna call it like it is. You cannot discount T1 whatsoever.
Yeah.
They might have had some rocky performances from before, but
I'm just a fan of good Valorant.
Yep.
And T1 so far have pulled away with a couple of good retakes there. And what I was trying to
Yeah,
highlight
PRX
earlier,
kind of just got to commit. They stick together as a
don't
5, and they
fracture.
just got to absolutely send it there. Buzz has enough money for an op if they lose this round.
You know, some
You
close
get one
losses
back
and a
out
close
again.
win. It's not the most comfortable map for T1, but it is a map that they know how to play.
precisely. Hence the positions once again right now, and hearing so much info towards drop. The smokes have been propped up, and it's Jing trying to launch things with the showstopper. Doesn't really find too much, but just lets it rip straight in towards spawn. Now hiding inside the smoke, and he gives Stax a little bit of a kiss until Izu, though, swings back out for the trade. Meteor now trying to play inside the smokes, and he will spot out Divide, where Jing is the only one left. The spike down on the ground. Izu spots out the final player. T1, 5 rounds in a row.
I mean, they dodged the op, but they still can go over towards the side. Razor, it goes over towards spawn.
Moment, hasn't he? He's just multi-fragging up a storm, getting set up by the team as well. Everybody dancing around the sky smokes.
Boy. Alex timeout.
Really good for them. I see the timeout paused again. Maybe we will have a little tech issue once more. We'll wait to hear if there's going to be any audios. I believe it's a gear issue as well. So something that we can hopefully rectify pretty quickly, and I think we need to for PRX in the grand scheme of things, because that deployment towards
Fail Nexus, thanks so much for the prime, appreciate the 7 months, thank you for that.
Dish. Okay, it's a normal timeout, normal. So we got Coach Alex and sub
coach
Mind Freak.
We'll see. All that aside, though, there definitely is something in the water for the Southeast Asian team right now.
No, he's playing on Brimstone, Quack.
Well,
he's not in the water. He's in the map. But he's not treading water, I'll tell you that.
You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Definitely not the performance that you're looking forward to.
For sure. Seems
Especially
like all the
fans out there. Nope.
all the words to come through are done.
Wow.
Uh-oh. He was like done for a little bit, and then he came back in for the last 5 seconds to give it to him.
And it'd be unsuccessful.
Could be fine.
He was like, that was enough, and then he's like, actually, hold up.
Count them up, I believe. Count them up.
Let's give him one more.
That's it.
Op still
T1
out.
on the other hand,
We got Neon all
so
on
far,
attack.
PRX with every hit that gets
And
sent
at the
their
moment
way.
we're just
and 5. Another
5.
eco scenario for PRX as well here with just something on the Guardian. Meanwhile, you got a little bit of this A control from Izu just spotting by himself. And an attempted
Did they
transition
late push over the
potentially from
4-1?
Buzz, but they don't need to do anything too unexpected here, T1. Just playing to the numbers, playing with the weaponry, waiting to see what PRX are sending your way. If they're going to go for any orb control, maybe it's going to be on Patman with the Rolling Thunder one away. You can kind of just give it to them at this point in time as well, because you know what the buy is potentially looking like. Forsaken with an overdrive available if they want to try and get in somewhere too. That turret is looking the wrong way, but the alarm bot will be the first thing to give info.
Okay, well, Still Garden goes all the way through as well. Buzz now in with a Phantom.
Look
at that beautiful
much,
movement straight into the side. Overdrive completely denied as well. Now Buzz with his overdrive of his own straight in towards tower where Petman tries to fend them off, but only good for the first.
T1 looking
once again,
so much control.
Down to finish.
Yeah, and they will weather through Forsaken's overdrive as well. No other.
Right, so I mean they didn't know what the buy was yet.
Massive investments from PRX.
To be fair, they didn't know if they bought like stingers or anything like that.
6-0. This is the one that you really need to see them start to pull their heads together on this attacking side as well, right? Yeah, the timeout previously, they had a pretty abysmal conversion rate after. Well, that's just going to get even worse now with dropping that round. So you would expect that the timeout is going to have to be for this round here, and they've got the proper weaponry back in their hands.
See what they're able to scrounge up together. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. You just come up with as many rifles as possible to spray down, suppressive fire down Arcade.
He's lucky to get away with that one though, Buzz.
Yeah, he should be dead.
Scenario where you think the PRX would have found the opening kill, which they still will do.
This is the issue with their comp. Is they have to try swing everything. Or they have to blindly use Uto and hope they find the op.
For Stacks to play sneaky around the edge.
Yeah, it's all patience now for PRX. What are you going to beat out? What are you going to try and do together as a team? Are you just going to go back to big old fracture things and try and set Patman in unders to ult in towards the site and try to go in together?
Possibly.
You got the shear over towards Dish, by the way. So that's not going to have to be thought of over at this site, but the operator line for Buzz, if he's good for one here, it would be great.
Ooh. Oh, he jumps up and sends in the relay at the right time. Does deter Forsaken straight in towards tower. Now Sylvan holding the off angle. And PRX completely stopped in their tracks.
That's on the back of the Rolling Thunder as well. Now Stacks is in the right location with it.
Oh god, look at this pause.
No chance. No, they're not even thinking about it. There's one and two.
Oh boy.
It's done. Patman, it's damage control. What are you
Dude, we got a 40 engine or something, man. What's going on? Who's in charge of building the engine? Where's Mini?
Nothing.
Mini was meant to check the engine.
More synonyms.
Mini?
Donut hole.
What's going on here?
That's a lovely one. Egg is another as well.
Oh, we're cracking eggs at the moment right now. We're making an omelet because T1 is having a big old breakfast today.
Complete. What's the Southeast Asian brag?
Oh boy.
Nonetheless, yeah.
Well, there's both of the timeouts.
Timeout, PRX. What do you got for us now?
The wheel's broken, mate. We're not moving.
Big time talking about the fact that we've got
the engine's not working. It's not turning on.
It's 2 weeks of preparations for PRX to, you know, get them veto the way they want, or at least get their map pick the way they want. And coming out with the map pick of choice being Fracture here. Starting off with a 0-7 is not the way that you really wanted this to go.
The engine exploded, mate. Not even running.
Towards what they came away against Boom, for example. They lost that one. They beat Gen G, but that was earlier on where Main Freak was playing in the team on that one. And you also saw just like a bit better play from the likes of PRX, but then I also just remember Suggest was playing in towards that one, right? So it was a bit of a different scenario for Gen G as well, and they awoke with
Denton, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the 5. Thank you for the 5 gifted, Denton. Chat, you know what to do. Just like all the spam going. Thank you for that, mate.
PRX, especially just further accentuated now that this is an elimination.
Benung got gifted from Denton. Denton the best. Make sure you add. So thank you as well.
Knows, but you can definitely say that this is not looking great. Meanwhile, for T1,
looking fabulous. They're not really needing to stretch out and do too much in the map, it feels like.
Okay, another
defensive setups.
Another low buy. Do they want to put the Killjoy into this one?
Sylvan able to receive off of the
god, this Vice Flash is kind of nice though.
Coming through though. Forsaken able to
this
silence
is minimap wise looking like the best rounds. You got the Killjoy all for the after pump.
Get a little bit of time
it's
on the back
unlosable.
of getting the plant down, which actually has been staved off for quite a few moments as the lockdown.
They want to put the breach all into it.
Respected.
Jing's pretty low HP.
Time where we'll start to see the retake now happen.
Rolling Thunder, Izu in position. Buzz making a bit of noise towards Canteen just to pull some attention away.
Device swings off of the first contact, right?
Keeping that in view. Patman though with the off angle right now. The Rolling Thunder not let rip, so just a call to save on to utility while the rest of the team tries to find as much as possible. Patman then
all we have to do is check the engine. Mini forgot to turn it on.
On the board this time, getting some trades, overwhelming.
All you have to do is push a button.
Dropping a lockdown in there is what you like to see. Mind you, the reason that I said
all aboard.
because I did see a department of something, and it's still the circular number, unfortunately. But this time, Patman getting a bunch of great shots out there. And just the team looking a little bit better to overwhelm T1. But
how much money have they got? How many ops do we got? That's a lot of ops. It's going to have one next round as well.
Good. So T1 have another crack at a good half here to further extend the lead.
Buzz in position up by Tree.
And also you got Izu spotting out over towards the dish. You'll destroy the turret, which actually looked like it got retrieved by Divide just before it got broken.
Drone at minute 20 mark as well.
Oh, easy. What
you guys have got to stop going dish against the tail. You're killing me a little bit.
No, PRX. They've got the angles locked down this time, and Forsaken slid.
We're lucky that Izu doesn't know how to ult properly over towards dish right now.
Can't drop this one though as PRX. 4 versus 2. No ultimates in sight for T1. Though you're giving Jules to Sylvan. Not like this. A trade, and Buzz now for the 1 versus 2 with an operator.
He's making a lot of noise, so PRX knows exactly where he is, now holding the off angle into the site. You have the spike in view. Surely you're able to find it.
Okay,
there
nicely done.
Is PRX recovering off the 2 timeouts call.
T1 set up for this as well. Like,
line up that operator shot for the moment they got a
better setup.
I would have removed my headset and walked.
Dude, every time I watch Izu ult, he's like ulting like really far back over towards here, and there's safe spots as well. Like, look at this safe spot. Safe spot. We have them getting around the corner.
I mean, hey, look, PRX, you've actually managed to pull away the round besides making us get on our seats a little bit when Sylvan is just winning 2 individual duels there. But they bring it together, they collectively and calmly win the round at the end there to try and get into a reasonable scenario for this scoreline, right? If they can bring it up to 7-5, then we're starting to wonder and
the
ponder.
jump spot goes in, they know that the op is here. They group up as 5.
You make a bit of noise towards north side, bait Izu out into the opening,
Slide,
and then you go for the south side
push him off the angle. Oh, surely not.
So the question is, how do you work around this?
A great stun to get him back to the angle on that one.
Yeah, well, it is just Buzz here by himself. So he kind of has to play a little bit more on the passive variety. Go back to at least dodge out the flashpoint, but he's still on the line.
And now it's going to be both ults being let rip from both sides. Rolling Thunder, though, a little bit more impactful, but Forsaken doesn't stop. Just into the smokes with the shorty, takes out Stacks, and looks to reposition off towards Heaven now. Sylvan getting peppered down. Suppressive fire from the team is good. We got a minute left, and the spike's still not down.
And this is the time as well for
PRX.
This is really bold. Look to stick around, go for more challenges, get chaotic, but playing on the more passive variety. Forsaken traded. Meanwhile, the rest of the team has started to already book it towards B. There is the Sheer, though, still here. And 8 seconds to be bought from the incendiary too. So with the rotation from Buzz now also over here, this is now the more stacked side for T1.
I mean, the whole intention of this rotate is to call in with a possibly rolling thunder into sight, but now it's getting blocked off somewhat. The op still firing through. Sylvan in great position to find a little bit more. He kind of almost gets propped up by it, but still, PRX finding a couple more trades down to Buzz.
10 seconds, Spike.
Trading right back.
Irretrievable.
I don't see how Devi is able to make this sprint. He tries though, but the angle's still in position. Salvos soon enough, and Buzz sliding in. Devi caught unaware or caught in the animation
this
itself.
Was a rough one, man.
There's just no way that
I'm not gonna lie, this was really rough.
When you've got
decisions in the 4v5,
if there's
when
even
they have the 5,
a scenario where he's tapping onto the spike to try and win the duel
goodness.
against Buzz, he would have to find Izu in the millisecond as well that the round would almost have left. So just great little allocation play from T1 in the moment there. And for Forsaken, I mean, yeah, maybe overstaying at the A side a little bit. What if he slipped in towards the tower instead and looked to catch up any rotations? It was early rotation from T1 to that B side that really worked to trade.
Mini, dude, Bacon, that's why I've been trying to shout out Mini the whole time, mate. He's not even here. He's not picking up the phone.
Just not able to remove that operator from the equation.
He's in the engine room, man. I'm not just going well in there.
T1 once again, every single player very aware of what their role, what their responsibility
8-4 is possible. Don't, honestly, 8-4 is pretty doable. Dude, just look how fun it is for Buzz, though.
Yeah, it's not Buzz on the operator.
Like, Buzz just isn't.
There'll be no damage on the exchange.
The only thing that pushes him off an angle is like a flash or a blind stun. That's it.
At this B site when they don't have any, I'll call them large ultimates available, large area.
Give me a refund. There's no refund, sorry.
The showstopper. But it is an opener.
Yeah, trying to be the catalyst for the team into the positions. He does let it rip. Second blast back out, but sidestepped Sylvan. How was he able to matrix dodge that ult now into the kill from Stacks, where he's able to find yet another something through the smoke? Just Buzz off towards the back line, and Devi somewhat finding balance. He picks up the op, but you're down to round 11.
It's really rough, man.
See you later to that gun.
Okay.
No 2 left feet, by the way, for Sylvan in this round. He is just absolutely done Jing dirty. That showstopper dodged, and the kill to come through from Sylvan. Now the 1 versus 3. What can you try to do as Devi? I mean, the spike is down just kind of in the open in a tradable spot. He'd need very sharp shots here.
You gotta watch out for players who are trying to play off contact as well.
You can just salvo him and he's pretty dead. Aftershock as well. Yeah, the round's done. He's just flushed
Jesus,
out.
man.
Really nice play from T1 yet again.
Perfect util usage.
Are commanding on this defensive side of Fracture here, and guys,
it's disgusting.
I know role changes can sometimes be difficult for a team, but not 0 kills.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I have no words.
Yeah, I mean, T1 are just playing this one perfectly, and PRX, even with coach intervention, scrambling at best to try and figure things out. I mean, there's been a lot of retakes, but T1 have just had the right pieces to go back
they go to where the op is again.
Oh,
this time we change up, we go aggro on this one. Dude, the stun flash is nice.
Perfectly set up by the team.
Holy, the extra flash on top is incredible.
Where is Forsaken? He's all the way across the map by north side. Don't let him ace at the very least, maybe. Forsaken, though, does he look for it? Buzz, low HP, but he still tracks on mid-slide!
It was a nice ace, man. They're absolutely wrecking him, dude.
Sent to the moon in this one, folks.
They're absolutely wrecking him. You just can't play this map without
He's come out with the goods and the
info.
entertainment there, hasn't he? Supported by the breach utility, the great
the
fault
solo
lines, the great
breach.
flash points, and just the individual brilliance to dodge around as well. I mean, 32 HP, and he catches Forsaken sliding through to try and answer back. That is a just destructive
the start, I mean, yeah,
from T1.
it's a really bad
Just
start.
to put things in perspective, you would have to.
The thing that worries me is like this is one of their
you
worst
knew he would go
performances
for
as
it.
well
Like,
so far.
Buzz is just the better Neon on this map
That's
right
the
now.
worrying
or even
thing
the
here.
calls for to send Buzz down tree that
He's not
way.
scared. Who's the best flex?
Right now? I'll let you
Zach,
take
thank
this
you
one,
so much,
Komodo.
dude. Thank you.
Giant
He
rocket
says
sky.
trust
Giant
in the
rocket
next
sky.
half, yeah.
It's going to come crashing down
Surely.
and eliminate the dinosaurs.
That was, a line that Paper Thin had last year.
Is it because I felt confident about their Fracture? Dude, what was their comp last time they played Fracture?
I
felt like it didn't look too bad.
Last year onto Gen G as the Sentinel player. This time onto its
Do
T1.
they have the same
Doing the
struggles?
same darn thing.
Yeah, I mean...
Really? Oh, she's...
it's the Masters winning team that's had some rocky starts in Stage 1 here,
and
of course.
For Meteor, 2 times Masters winner.
Yep. I mean, we've already said and bid adieu to previous champs winner, EDG. They will not be making their name known in the server over at Masters Toronto.
That's the whole thing about Valorant.
What is on the line for these teams?
Yeah, and also for teams.
Dude, they had a... oh, man.
Well,
they had the same comp, but they got rid of the tail and put in a race.
Middle.
Guys,
For the playoffs.
They continue playing like this.
can't be doing that.
Pistol round though. Let's see if PRX is going to be able to convert this one and make something of this defensive side, or if T1 are just going to run away with this map.
Off on the defense, Smoke's instantly propped up.
And the best Teo map.
Meteor. And also for the rest of PRX to continue pushing out of A main, but what is this? Checking the corners, and Meteor comes up with a double kill, forsaken the trade. And if you can hear my voice, it doesn't feel good.
Job might have been done just there by Meteor to find the double, give an advantage to
What did we say? We said Buzz was going to get
Still do have
18
the
to
spike
20
in
kills on
possession,
defense.
so
Got
they're gonna push that
15.
towards the
We're
A side.
kind
They
of
can play it
close.
to their
But...
heart's content.
Do you expect Buzz, though? Off with the angles, and he finds the first. Jumps, relay bolts, slides for the second kill,
my guys.
looking for the third,
Insanely
but shut
confident.
down so far by Petman.
And now they're not going to overheat. T1 in a 1 versus 3. I mean, Izu, I'm looking at your position, mate. You're just watching the rope. You're playing salvos here. Confirmed that the rope play is not the play, and Sylvan's just going to individually win the duel. So pistol round now over towards T1, and that just makes things so much more difficult for PRX here.
They get absolutely wrecked, man.
That point. From then on, who knows? PRX, even with the force, you can't really count on it too much.
FNS said this is something's day. No, he didn't.
The other side of the map, like, why would somebody have snuck themselves in towards that corner? You're generally checking over towards, the actual tree side of things.
As in before the game.
So you kind of understand why Meteor wasn't cleared there, but...
Hey, you can't call a 0-13 a Magnum as well. That's crazy.
Right damage, the rest of the team don't falter
Poor guy.
after that.
True and fair enough.
Now the force up
He actually did. Before the game, he said it's something's day. Oh, dude.
10 of them.
That'll be a mountain to climb.
Yeah, and they're just going to do it bare feet, bare-handed.
Like hobbits.
No tools to assist.
Well,
But their comp just doesn't work, chat.
Do
you know the mad thing about all of this as well? It's like the comp really struggles against an op, and then you're going up against Buzz, who literally is the main op user. Like, if you think of someone who's like okay with a rifle but really good with an op, he's probably the person that people mention the most. Like, he is the guy that needs an op.
Still towards this Bravo site, I mean, they're only going to have to contend with a Devi who's got the turret at one side to spot info, which now gets removed. And you're going to have some quick rotations come out from the rest of the PRX members.
He's got to find at least 1 kill, but he's getting peppered by so much utility. The drone, the fault line, now trying to hide inside of the smoke, but T1 has a very good idea of where he is. Ooh, slip past though. Shot towards the back of Sylvan's skull. Down for the rest of PRX to arrive somewhere near the site, but the spike still goes down.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go, and now a bit of stuns up around the site as well. Nothing can come through for PRX at the moment, can it?
Cosmetic stun.
Ah, man.
Gotta get the plant. Or maybe not, just get the kills.
Yeah, hunting down for a Jing, and there he is. Meteor once again crashing down upon the dinosaurs.
And now it is the 10 map points to come through for T1. That was the force up for the PRX squad as well. So they're going to try and do
I guess something's never going back on smokes after this one.
And I mean,
Jesus, dude. Not even like it's his fault though, like the comp fundamentally doesn't work.
A Jemkin effect that we saw on
like they're just, they kind of lost in, Agent Select.
Well, if
he has got 9 assists though.
If he's able to turn things around Ascent, maybe, but it's Ascent. Oh,
yeah. Opening kill would be needed for
10
PRX
chances.
here. You see a lot of bodies in main. You see a stun go your way. You want to try and get out, or you want to try and get one. And unfortunately, that can't be delivered.
Wow.
Okay.
Buzz is sending it over towards spawn.
He's on the board, and now it's going to be 10 rounds in a row for PRX.
Lock in? Okay.
I'm going to cut you right there. 3 players from T1
this could
on
be
the
the start of something
You also have
magnificent.
Sylvan trying to reposition towards A main. He has a very good idea of where PRX are. Full contact now off the flashes, but PRX will fully collapse and descend onto T1.
9 convincing rounds.
Everyone's
Everyone's going to get heavy armor.
So if you want to start off any chances to get back in towards a map like like this in a flawless variety. Well, how about starting off with a flawless round and all doing it together? There you go.
Okay, if they win this, they force them down to an
eco,
eco, kind of. Yeah,
T1,
they
but
will.
how many surprises can you really pull out? You've
I
been
looked over
pushing
and I saw a 4K there, though.
past several rounds, well, past 3 rounds, a little bit. T1 certainly beginning to read that.
We'll see what the answer is going to be for, I think more importantly, PRX for the next couple of rounds if they have that available, because this is going to be another purchase for T1. Playing north side of the map. I like the idea that they have down towards the south side, by the way, with the Arcros, but it's
the classic. We're bringing back the old strats.
Control.
Okay. Well, once again, the A main push,
just confirming that the information is there.
So much of it.
Yep.
Do have some KJ utility towards drop.
Shia going to be baited.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but KJ util's down. This could.
Oh no, man!
Maybe something is
but he came back into range to get the Killjoy util. They just had no idea they had already crossed.
Petman though, good for the trade. Now flashes out, looking for another, but a little bit too greedy. 4v3.
Locked out against the La.
Yeah, he's got a good chance to really chuck it in at the right spot, isn't he? But
where?
You got Meteor coming out from the back as well. Yeah, not truly.
Dude, they're not even considering Meteor, by the way.
And now, for the rest of PRX to hold this down, a full firefight until Meteor ascends from the back. Forsaken, though, trying to launch himself back in, off towards the 1v1 where he knows where Meteor is. Doesn't really have much to work off of, just the spike, but that is where Meteor will silence the
dude, the comp just can't play against. As soon as that AWP comes out, you're not getting rounds, really.
PRX's map pick.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to be the result scoreline here for the first one of this elimination.
They had the Teo breach.
Certainly come out with something
the nerf's not in play yet.
A bit of a master class that we didn't really see from them at Masters, but they've